Hello everybody, I'm Logan with Wikistone and I want to welcome you to episode 2 of Stones of America, where we go across the nation, discuss the different types of stone that are found, talk about their geology, history, and how they're used today. You'll have to bear with me a little bit. I'm coming back from having a cold, so my voice is a bit out, but today we're going to be talking about one of the most iconic stones found in America, and I'm talking about none other than Indiana Limestone. So, Indiana limestone is found in the south central area of Indiana, and it was formed during the Mississippian period about 350 million years ago when there was a shallow sea in that part of the country. So different marine life would die, mainly coral reefs, and it would aggregate, and as it layered up on top of each other, it would harden in what's known today as Indiana limestone, among other types of limestones in that region too, but we're just going to focus today on Indiana limestone. So a little bit more on the geology of Indiana limestone. It's primarily composed of calcium carbonate. It's almost completely composed of calcium carbonate, actually. It is, I believe, 97 or 98% calcium carbonate with a few other trace compounds in it as well. That's the main kind of backbone of the geology behind it. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Indiana limestone. Indiana limestone has been known about for a long time. There are reports of Native Americans and settlers using it in their homes in the 17 and 1800s, but the first quarry didn't open up until the early 1800s. And it quickly exploded in popularity, and there's a few reasons for that. It's a very workable stone, it's a very consistent stone, and is beautiful. So for that reason, it started to almost immediately be sought after for doing grand scale projects, and you started seeing it pop up in different churches and state buildings and that type of thing. So as you go into the late 1800s and early 1900s, that popularity just continued to rise, where it was used in 35 out of 50 state capitals. It was used in the Empire State Building, the Smithsonian, and countless other projects. There's literally probably tens of thousands of projects that you could look at across the country that feature Indiana limestone. Towards the middle of the 1900s, building styles started to change and it declined in popularity for a few decades, but in recent decades it had a resurgence because for the original reasons that people used it. It's very workable but still durable. It's a very energy efficient stone and it's iconic and it's rich with history. So it started to regain popularity in these recent decades, and you still see it today used in many large scale projects across the country. Which brings us into our last segment of how is this stone used today? And well, you can find Indiana limestone in virtually every format in landscape and building stone, but it's primarily used as a building stone. You'll see it on churches and different architectural pieces. Often facades will feature Indiana limestone, and anywhere where durability and beauty are of paramount importance, generally you can find Indiana limestone being used there. So thank you for tuning in for another week of Stones of America, where we go across the nation and look at all different types of stones. I hope to see you next week to see where we'll go next.